Hey guys, it's me Taylor, and I'm doing another one of my little book reviews on a book that I'd really like to get out there, Tramp for the Lord. Um, it's the sequel to The Hiding Place, which I just put on not that long ago. And it's basically Corrie's journey after surviving the concentration camp and what she does, and she's speaking to people and she's trying to help people heal, and she's a devout Christian if you read in there, and she just listens to what the Lord tells her to do, even though at times she's reluctant, and she constantly has to keep herself humble. And I think that's a thing we all have to do as Christians. If you don't necessarily get that part of the faith, maybe you don't know because you're not a Christian. I mean, we want to make sure we're showing Jesus and His kindness. Something I'll probably say a lot on my show is, I believe it was not long after the Last Supper with Jesus, before He was crucified on the cross, that He said, love others because I loved you first. I hope that is correct. But that was a commandment He gave. And my dad's always said that people will know us because of our kindness. Know us as Christians because of our kindness. And I kind of lost where I was going there for a second. Oh, but that's why you gotta make sure you're being humbled. And every once in a while, yeah, you're gonna mess up. And gotta ask God for forgiveness. You maybe have to ask a person for forgiveness. And I've personally had to do that in my life. Sometimes it's nice to see somebody that talks about it in just a real form of maybe we're overstepping our boundaries with someone or something like that. She also, a huge part of it, talks about forgiveness because she saw people struggling to do that. She struggled herself to do that when a man who was at the concentration camp she was at, which was Ravensbrück. Can't pronounce German very well. Sorry for that nose itch. It's getting late in the night, so that's when the nose itches come on. But there's a guard that was at that same camp that was so mean. I believe it was just one that maybe even had attacked her sister. And he comes up and he wants to ask her for forgiveness, and that's just really hard for her to do. And she just kind of had to ask Jesus, Jesus, come into me and help me forgive this man. And that is a thing that she shares with, and God does it for her, and it's an amazing experience. And that was a lesson she was able to bring with her to help other people heal who had been hurt. The German people who had been hurt. There was a crippled lawyer there, and he was just so mad all the time. And she was able to share that story of forgiveness to him. Let Jesus in. He will help you forgive, And I can't remember exactly what had happened to him, but he was clearly somebody had really hurt him. And now he's in this bad place. He used to be a lawyer, and now he's, I'm pretty sure, pretty impoverished. And that's really hard to go through when you are perfectly limbed, and then all of a sudden now you're in a wheelchair. And she's able to share that with him, and she keeps in contact with him, and I think he even learns to drive a car. And he talked to her one day, and he's like, "Do you still have trouble forgiving?" And she said, "Yeah, I still do. But we just have to keep asking God to help us with that." And you might be like, "Oh, that's crazy," but just give this book a try. Every book I share, I really think has a good message, no matter who you are. And I just feel like this has a great message. It has messages of understanding moments in life that sometimes we don't understand. Understanding people that are evil and showing them love. And you see that in a man that's always giving to help a neighbor, but a neighbor that hates him so much that he tries to set his house on fire. And you'll see how that turns out for him in the end, but the neighbor always loved him. And then there's also a woman that was in Germany, and she was this amazing piano player. And she said one of the pastors of a church will let me play. Would you like to come with me and let me play? And what they had done was, in one of the concentration camps, they made it so people could live in it again. So kind of bringing joy to such a sad place. But people were able to live there because, Germany was struggling after World War II. And this little old lady, she takes her there, and then she asked her to play this very hard Bach symphony, and she was like, it was beautiful, and she did an amazing. And then she went back where she was living with these other families, and there were all these crazy kids, but she was happy. And I think maybe even helping on the baby piano. I'm not sure. But, when we invest in other people, when we see what they're struggling, we should go out there and try and help them. And going to the darkest places and bringing the light, she does that in there. And she goes to Cuba, and that's when, being Christian there was really dangerous, and how she went through that, and she just continually kind of had to rely on God to get her where she needed to go. Even when she got annoyed and was like, really? Why is this being delayed or not going how I planned it or whatever? Then she always saw the light at the end of the tunnel, shall I say. She also talked about she went to visit these missionaries, and in there the missionaries had, sorry, I like to just slowly move closer. She went and saw these missionaries and visited with them, and they had a new baby, and the lady had been freaking out about having a baby, and she was scared. And the family's race is actually important in this scenario. She was white, and one day she had the baby. She knew she was gonna have that baby. She had nobody to watch her children, and they all just had to go to the hospital with her. And ultimately, that ended up saving her life. So I'm going to let you read that, because I don't want to just ruin these things, but there's so many good things in this book. If you read it, maybe comment your favorite part below. I'm just trying to get these books out there because they're really good. They're worth the read. We need to read more. I've been hearing that our teenagers are declining in their reading or their comprehension or their overall knowledge of words. So like inspire them to read more, and inspire yourself if you're just my age. I'm in my 20s, so inspire yourself to read more. I think we can all learn a lot. And probably the next book that I'd be reviewing is, I am so far like around, I'd say 100 pages into this book. Yeah, exactly 100 pages into this book. It's The Cross and the Switchblade. It's about gangs, and that will probably be the next book that I'm reviewing. I'm also excited because I recently got this book. I know some people might think it's controversial just because of the author that wrote it. Anything in politics is controversial, but I am really excited to read this and maybe give you my thoughts or just an overall synopsis so I don't get attacked. But I hope you guys have a great night. Nighttime's when I like to do my reading, and I was about to start finishing reading this book, so I was like, ooh, I best put this one out before I forget about it, because I also have a terrible memory. So I'm trying to give you better book reviews, so maybe I can encourage you guys to read them. If you want any books for me to review, just let me know. Put it in the comments down below. Give me a like, subscribe, and yeah. If you like any of the books I review, like I said before, leave a comment on it. Or if you're like, you like that one, you'll definitely like this one, let me know, because that's the book I want to be reading. So, but I thought, hey, election year, might as well put Candace Owens in there and read her book. I'm really excited to hear what she has to say. So, yeah. I also am kind of a fan of her, so there's that. But I'll try and finish this book up because I really only have like over 100 pages left. And then hopefully I'll do the video right after it instead of wait a few weeks like I did with the other one. And then hopefully I'll speed read through this one because it's only got 300 pages. So hopefully I can just speed read my way through her book. I heard it's a really easy read. This has been this was an easy read. Hiding Place was. So I don't know why I had to show you every single book. But I'm just really excited. Trying to add reading to the things that I normally do. So I hope you enjoy these too. And yeah, just let me know if you have books you'd like me to read and review. Alright, later. Bye. Thanks y'all for watching.